This is the Transformers Generations Combiner Wars Superion. Now the figure is made up of 5 different figures, and you can buy the figures in the first 2 waves of the Transformers Generations Combiner Wars series of figures. He's made up of Silverbolt as the body, and 4 deluxe class aerial bots: Alpha Bravo, Fireflight, or Firefly, now that he's known, and Skydive from Wave 1, and Air Raid from Wave 2. In an exclusive wave, a retailer exclusive wave, deluxe class figure is going to be released that will also be part of Superion, and that's Slingshot, or he will be known as Quick Slinger. It's going to be a retailer exclusive. I don't have it right now, but he's supposed to be here, the left arm. Traditionally, that's where he's supposed to be, or any part. So in the meantime, I'm going to do this review with the Alpha Bravo arm or piece. But rest assured that the original aerial bots are going to be released by Hasbro. If you want them all in one go, you don't want to hunt each one down, you might want to go and buy the Takara Tomy version, which will have everything and will have white arms and feet and a little bit of a slight color difference. But essentially, this is Superion. Now, let me just show him to you. He is amazingly well balanced. There's nothing supporting him. I was able to stand him up in that pose long enough to do the video, but as you can see, there's nothing to support him. He can stand up in this pose. He's amazingly well balanced. Let me just try and get him into his prone position, not in the FX Trans pose. So this guy is huge, and again, as I said, I will be doing another review of this one once Quick Slinger or Slingshot comes out on retail or any of my favorite hobby shops. So essentially, this is him. 1 Voyager class figure, 4 deluxe class figures. That's what the Combiner War series from the Generations line is trying to do. And trying to reimagine some classic combining figures back in the day. Back in the 80s, you will remember, if you grew up there was Superion, and he was small. He's like, each jet was made, small jet was about this tall, and Silverbolt was about this tall, and they were about this tall. I didn't have it when I was a kid. I did have Silverbolt, but we sold him. And now he's being reimagined here. And it's a nice homage to the G1, although Hasbro is trying to say that this is the IDW continuity, the comic book continuity Superion. Regardless of whatever he is, he's still a good representation of the original character. Now you can build him this way. You can swap the pieces. This is the G1 arrangement. You can swap these 2 as feet, and you can use Skydive and Air Raid as arms if you want to do the Scramble City version, but it's really up to you. You can go mix and match, and that's essentially what Hasbro is trying to do with this new Combiner Wars figures. It's like a Mashers type of Combiner Wars, and at the same time they're trying to please the comic book fans, the G1 fans, and I think they're doing a wonderful, wonderful job with that. So if you want to make it, one last note, if you want to make him more G1 accurate, you can always rotate these, well, sort of pop this out. If you want the legs to look more G1 accurate, you can have him do it that way, but you'll have the knees bending backwards differently in the opposite direction. But if you just display him, he'd still look nice. So back he goes. Also, you might have noticed that just to give him more girth or more body in the legs, Superion was traditionally thin-thighed. The thighs were really thin because of the way Silverbolt transformed. But if you put the blasters of Skydive and Air Raid onto the thighs, they give it some heft to it. There's the illusion that he has bigger thighs. The gun of Silverbolt will fit nicely on either hand, and essentially that's him. Very, very nice. When you combine all of them, he comes out as a very stable figure. There's kibble everywhere. You can I put the weapons there just to store them for these guys, but it doesn't bother me as much as I thought it would. Let me give you a. It's just way off the camera. That's his look. And you know what? When I saw pictures of this guy, I thought, this thing is gonna suck. But as it turns out, it's actually pretty awesome. It's very massive. The proportions are amazingly okay. I had no trouble with it. The look of the G1 is there. The look of the IDW comic book is there. So, you know what? They've already been internet pictures of upgrades, third-party upgrades. Might consider getting those, but even without the upgrades, this thing is still one badass figure. It still looks great. Hasbro did a wonderful job with the feet arms that can transform into either a foot or a hand. Even if I don't get Slingshot, Alpha Bravo is still well, in the comic books it was him, but he's still a good part or member of the aerial bots to me, and I'm just so happy with this. I had very little expectations with this Gestalt, with this combiner figure, and you know what? Hasbro surpassed my little expectations, I should say. I'm just so pleased with it. Now, if you combine them, you have some decent articulation. There's no waist or torso articulation because of the way Silverbolt transforms. You get a swivel neck, you get a ball hinge ratcheting shoulder, you got a bicep swivel, double jointed elbows. If this is how you want him transform, you can transform him this way. You'll just have one elbow, but I tend to transform him this way because of the double joint for the elbows. You get a swivel wrist. Some finger articulation because of transformation. You get a ball hinge hip because of transformation. Thigh swivel, ball hinge knees, and swivel ankle articulation because of the way it's connected. So very nice. It could have been better, slightly better, but to me, easily. It's not perfect by all means, but I'm gonna give this a very high 9 out of 10. Just for the sheer effort that Hasbro's put in it. Because when I first saw it in pictures, I was like, Hasbro, you had 3 years to do a fantastic Combiner Wars figure. You should be killing it and just, giving the third-party companies a run for their money. And you come up with this, I was like, come on. But you know what? I judged the whole line way too quickly. And it ended up surprising me very much and impressing me a lot. So, color scheme, I'm not going to talk about it because I've already done separate reviews of each figure. So, you want to check it out on my channel, Chefatron, that's fine. But this is just a review of the Gestalt of the combined mode. Still pretty cool. I just can't believe how well it turned out. So, here I'm going to do another highlight of this review is going to be some size comparisons. Because that's what a lot of people think. I was expecting it to be a little bit bigger, I'll be honest. But it turns out it's almost the same size as FOC Bruticus. Which is not bad, because you know what? Then this guy is going to fit well with the Combiner Wars line. Which is fine. I think Hasbro did that on purpose. I don't know. And to think that these are all deluxe class figures and this one's got a Voyager. Okay, let me just stand up because I have to reach the other figures. Okay. Get rid of this. If you remember, there was the Energon Bruticus was released, and I did use the Fans Project upgrades. I don't know if I've done I think I've done a video on that that upgrade set. So here they are, and he's a little bit short because they're all. This one is a deluxe class body with Scout class figures, so understandably he would be a little bit small, but. He's just a tad bit small that he almost fits in the scale. And I'll be happy to put them side by side on the shelf. And no problems whatsoever about scale for me. Not too much complaints of scale. And a leader class figure. Here he is with Jetfire Optimus Prime. I was actually expecting him to be a lot bigger than this, honestly. That's a little bit of this one, but it's not a deal breaker. Definitely not a deal breaker. He actually is bigger, but I thought he'd be like here, like way bigger, based on some of the internet videos I've seen. But he's about the size of a leader class, so apparently I didn't have to clear as much shelf space as I did while I was spring cleaning. And lastly, here's a size comparison with a masterpiece figure, and there you go. That's a massive figure. He's about the same size as Ultra Magnus. I don't have Ultra Magnus right now. Put him back in the box. So, yeah, it's a great set. It'll be easy to hunt these guys down. If you're in Manila, these are all peg warmers. This one, as of filming right now, I was able to get this one at a hobby shop. He'll come out probably in April. It's March 31st, 2015 today. He'll probably come out next month. So again, a very high 9 out of 10. Very, very solid looking combined mode. Very, very well done, Hasbro. Minor improvements could have been done with a kibble, articulation, stability. He's very stable, but he's still a little bit shaky. And the size. I thought the size could have been much bigger. But as it is, it's a wonderful, wonderful product. I think Hasbro did a good job with this one. I judged it way too quickly. For those of you who are thinking that Combiner Wars are crap, give it a second look. They might actually impress you. Might even surprisingly please you. So there you go, folks. I hope you've enjoyed this video review. If you did, please click the thumbs up icon at the bottom. Don't forget to share this video with your friends on Google+. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel, Chefitron. This is where I'll do all my Transformers reviews, Marvel, Star Wars, Joe's. If you want to catch my toy purchases, want to see my toy purchases, I post them all on Twitter. Toy sightings, I post them on Instagram, both Instagram and Twitter on the FX France account. YouTube is on Chefitron. This has been the Transformers Generations Combiner Wars Superion combined mode of the aerial bots. Thanks for watching.